Hey folks, cheers for joining me today for a bit of a quick video. So, I recently hit my first YouTube milestone of 1,000 subscribers. I never really got into the whole YouTube game to get views, get subscribers. I just wanted to share my birding trips. So I really am grateful for all of those who have subscribed, everyone who's liked, commented, you know, all that good stuff. I never really thought this would happen, and I know there's like other channels out there who get 1,000 subscribers within 2 weeks. But you know, I'm really grateful. I'm really happy so many of you decided to watch and follow me as I just go bird watching, really. So thank you so much for subscribing. Now, this is a message I would have loved to have shared in the field, but currently it is absolutely chucking it down outside, and it has been for the last about week, really. Bad weather combined with work schedules and just life getting in the way in general, I haven't been able to go out. So I figured today, just as a bit of a change, something a bit quick and easy, I'd do something a little bit different, and I'd like to share with you my favourite free bird images from the last couple of years. Now, I should preface this with the fact that I am no professional bird photographer. I do this purely for fun. Like many of you guys, you know, I just want to get out into nature. I want to get into the woods, get into the fields, and bird photography is just my excuse. It's a vehicle I use to get out there and enjoy myself. I had a fair few thousand images to go through, most of which were just record shots, so new species I'd seen or just birds I'd seen on the day, just to, again, keep a record. Now, I had to go through all of these before I could settle on a top 8 photos. Each one of these images I liked for different various reasons, but decided to narrow it down. So without further ado, here are my top 3 photos. In third place, I have this Carrion Crow sitting on top of a branch. So this image was taken back in May 2023, and what I think I like about it the most is how the crow's black feathers contrast with the green, you know, muted leaves in the background. I also actually quite like the crow's pose, because it's quite strong and it's quite like noble looking to a certain degree. But looking to the right hand side of frame. Now, one thing you may notice about my photos is that I don't mind leaving a lot of negative space, you know, room for the subject to breathe. And I do this because I feel like it's cool to show the bird's natural habitat, you know, the environment it actually lives in. But don't get me wrong, if the bird was up close to me, of course I'm gonna have no issue with photographing a portrait of that animal. But, you know, it's a stylistic sort of thing, you know, everyone's different. I'm not a fan of massively cropping into birds. I don't mind cropping a little bit just to, you know, adjust my framing, because I'm not the steadiest of guys when I'm panning or just even shooting stationary subjects. So yeah, I've got no issue with leaving a load of space, and a lot of the times I really enjoy it. Next up is an image I actually featured in a semi-recent video on a trip to the Long Mynd in Shropshire. The image itself is of a Meadow Pipit standing on top of some heather with a mouthful of worms. Now, like the image before, this image has got a load of dead space in it, you know, a lot of headroom up top and bottom. So much so that I actually toyed with cropping it into a 16:9 ratio, but I think I do prefer it in a 3:2. I do prefer that headspace and that area in the bottom, but let me know your opinions in the comments below. So this image was captured using my 600mm F6.3, and it was actually the second time I'd ever taken it out, and as it turns out, it was a perfect lens for gallivanting about up on the hills, especially in the, you know, strong wind. You know, the lens itself is really lightweight. Fantastic lens, I love it. Anyway, for the image, I got down really nice on low, so I was in line on the same level as my subject, and this effectively it provides more space from your subject to the background, which in this case was some hills covered in ferns a couple hundred meters away. And this really helped me to separate my image, separate my subject from the background and really make it pop from that beautiful green in the back. You know, I really like this image, and I think if I was shooting it from a more top angle, you know, if I was a lot higher up compared to my subject, a lot more of the background would have been in focus and it would have been a lot more distracting. So I really am happy that on the day I decided to get down low and shoot on the same level as the bird. Quick side note, however, now I'm looking at this image again with fresh eyes, I do wish I'd photoshopped out that straight bit of heather directly to the right hand side of the bird. I think it's a bit distracting, but for the most part, I actually still don't mind it. Now, last but not least, but what is actually the oldest image in this lineup, and I actually still think it is my favourite, is of this beautiful female stone chat, which was taken on one very frosty, one very cold November morning. This image was taken on my old trusty Nikon Z6 with the Sigma 150 to 600mm contemporary lens. I actually really enjoyed that setup. I love that lens. Now hopefully you can see why I like this image so much. I love its environment, you know, I love the mist in the background, I love the frosty nettles, and I actually really like the bird's pose once again. Particularly how it has its head dipped towards the bottom of the frame. This image was taken at Ladywalk Nature Reserve from Riverwalk Hyde, which is usually used to check out birds flying by, and it gives you a good view of the lake. But I really was happy to have this bird, this stone chat, land really close to me, below the hide, just below the window, giving me a really cool vantage of it. Now, there was actually a pair of them, a male and a female, and it was a female who was a bit more brave of the pair, who came, you know, a little bit closer to the hide, and I'm so glad I did, you know. I was so lucky on that morning. But anyway, with that folks, again, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for watching. Please let me know your opinion on the photos, you know. Maybe there's another image in the top 8 which you actually preferred to my top 3. Yeah, I'd love to hear down below. But yeah, with that, please subscribe if you haven't already. Please drop a comment. Please like the video if you liked it. Thank you, folks.